Hello everyone, I'm Meteorologist Charlie Ironmonger. Thank you so much for joining me today for your 4 p.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. And we've got news out of Camp Lejeune where a planned power outage is going to be going into effect. The industrial area, Marine Corps Exchange Complex, Hadnot Point, and Wallace Creek areas will be affected. Now the power outage will be again occurring on Friday from 12 p.m. to around 4 p.m. Now, while backup power will provide operations for essential facilities on mainside, Marines say there will be some services that will experience some outages. A full list of those services and outages can be found on our website, WITN.com. I also want to highlight news out of the DHHS in that the state has recorded its first flu death of the 2025 flu season. The Department of Health and Human Services says an adult in the western part of the state died during the first week of the month. Now, state epidemiologist Zach Moore says, quote, "We encourage everyone to take preventative measures against flu and other respiratory illnesses, like getting a yearly flu shot, regularly washing hands and covering your cough, and staying at home when sick to avoid infecting others," end quote. Now, last season, 544 people died from the flu, the highest number in the state since 2009. And now I want to highlight your weather forecast, as that has kind of been the big story across eastern North Carolina today, the incoming rain showers, but also the ability of this front that's bringing us the rain right now to develop a secondary system, a low pressure system that will impact the east over this upcoming weekend. Saturday and Sunday looking wet and windy, thanks to the low pressure system that will result off of the cold front that's giving us the cloud cover you're seeing on your screen right now. Neuse River Cam, 81 degrees, shows again clouds as far as the eye can see. Right now, dew points in the upper 60s, making it feel a little bit warmer than what your air temperatures are actually showing. But of course, you're not stepping out the door for the heat today. You're stepping out the door and anticipating cloud cover and some rain showers, which right now it looks like those rain showers are starting to get a little bit more life to them as they approach the Outer Banks. Hearing some rumbles of thunder across Hyde, Terrell, and mostly mainland Dare counties in the northern Outer Banks. Also, again, seeing some heavy downpours moving across down East Carteret County as we speak. But beyond this, again, a lot of the rain showers will start to diminish gradually over really your 6 o'clock to 11 o'clock time period. Over that stretch, a lot of these drops, again, are going to be gradually fading. So zooming the picture out a little bit further, we can kind of get an idea of exactly how this whole system is coming together. The area of high pressure back towards the Great Lakes is actually going to have a pretty big influence on how strong the wind is going to be coming up over the weekend. And a big reason why is the greater the pressure difference is over a short area, the stronger the winds will be over that area. So seeing that area of high pressure kind of set up over the New England area, at least New York, Pennsylvania, that high is again going to create a big temperature gradient between that high and that low. What's between those two pressure systems? Us. So as that low continues to get deeper and moves further northward, our winds will continue to increase. It'll be breezy for your Thursday, a little bit more windy on Friday, certainly windy on Saturday, but Sunday, those winds are really going to accelerate. And the direction of the wind is going to have a pretty big impact on flooding potential across eastern North Carolina. While we are going to see a soaked day coming up on Saturday, and we will still have some rain showers expected to roll over the east on Sunday, a little bit more sparse and kind of more hit and miss broken showers on Sunday, the winds will accelerate over the weekend. Starting out again, breezy, if not straight up windy on Saturday, and then really ramping up those winds as we head into Sunday. To put some numbers to it, on Sunday, anticipating areas along and east of Highway 17 will have wind speeds generally between around 20 to 30 miles an hour sustained, where gusts will range between around 30 to 40 miles an hour. There have been some model readings that push Outer Banks wind gusts upwards around 50, 55, even up to 60 miles miles an hour. So again, we are anticipating some very windy conditions the farther east you go. But for those of you watching on the western side of Highway 17, anticipate more of a 15 to 20 mile an hour sustained wind with gusts between 20 to 30 miles an hour. It will certainly still be windy. It will still be wet, certainly on Saturday, and even some rain showers on Sunday. But the biggest impacts are going to be those along and east of Highway 17, as those are going to be the areas that have the best opportunity for some coastal flooding. And it's going to we're not looking at really rain flooding right now. It's more wind-driven flooding. Note the direction of those winds coming down across Craven County. And note that they run parallel, at least most of the time, to the Neuse River. That means that all of the water, essentially just north of New Bern, extending all the way down towards the mouth of the Neuse, that's where we're going to see some water build up. A lot of that water is going to get pushed down, and we could see some flooding there along the south side of the Neuse River in Craven County, southern Craven County. Down East Carteret County on the north side, kind of near the Neuse River, also again seeing some higher water levels due to the winds. Similar story for Ocracoke. Soundside flooding, certainly a possibility. Right now, it's looking more and more locked in for Sunday. Of course, we will still be dealing with higher tides, but the king tide is expected to end on Sunday. But we will still feel some of those residual effects from the moon being a little bit closer and pulling up that water level along our coastline. So again, coastal flooding is going to be an issue over this weekend, particularly on Sunday. Could be on Saturday, but I think Sunday is going to be the worst day of the two. Need to talk about Tropical Storm Jerry, still a tropical storm, but expected to become a hurricane over the next few days. Right now has maximum sustained winds of 60 miles an hour, gusts up to 70 miles an hour with pressure at 1,000 millibars. Now, the pressure will drop, but the pressure with our coastal low could be pretty close to what tropical, well, really, it will then eventually be a hurricane if the National Hurricane Center forecast does play out as it's expected to. Pressure readings could be very similar for both of those systems. So I want to put that into context for you if you're thinking like, oh, well, the coastal low is not tropical, so it's not going to be that bad. No, we will still see, again, some very strong winds, possibly looking at tropical storm force wind gusts for most of eastern North Carolina. Again, more eastern sections as we head through the weekend. Now, of course, Jerry not really going to affect us at all, certainly not with wind or rain. If we're to feel any sort of impacts off of Jerry, it's going to come off of the wave energy that Jerry will produce. Those waves will again crash along our coast, potentially leading to additional beach erosion, something that we do not need any more of this season. We haven't had a direct hit with a hurricane yet this season. Gonna knock on wood right now, but the fact that we've already seen many houses, almost 10 houses, fall into the Atlantic this hurricane season without any sort of direct hit highlights just how vulnerable our coast is right now with all of the beach erosion we've seen over the past few years. So again, this is not really the setup we're hoping for. The good news is we're getting closer and closer to the end of hurricane season. We're certainly not there yet, but you know, at least the end is a little bit in sight. We're a little bit more than a month and a half out from the end. Hopefully the end does actually bring about the end. Over the weekend, 71 degrees on Saturday, 68 on Sunday, and then we'll gradually warm back up as that area of low pressure and the strong northeasterly winds kind of exit along with it on Monday and Tuesday. That will allow air temperatures to return to at least the low to mid 70s for the first 3 days of the week, possibly approaching the 80-degree mark by the time we reach next Thursday. And that's all we have time for today's 4 p.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. I want to thank you all so much for joining me. We'll be back with more news and weather coming up at the top of the hour. Until then, I hope you all have a wonderful day.